Hey everybody, welcome back to the center lane in a political discussion for those of us who are in the middle, who just want both sides to get along. Don't go too far right, don't go too far left. I think I would start today talking about Kamala Harris and what's going to happen to her after her term is up, which is coming in, less than a month now, I believe, just about a month from now, I should say. What does her future look like? I mean, she got a lot of votes as a Democratic nominee in 24, but she didn't win. And I guess the question now is, does that mean, due to her unusual circumstances, becoming the candidate, that she would have much better chance if she had a longer opportunity to run in a primary and win? Or is she better off running for governor of California? Now, there's talk about people say, well, that's beneath her. She should run for president. I don't agree with that at all. I think that running and probably winning the governorship of California would be a really nice feather in her cap. It would show that she could get things done. Wouldn't recommend, this is in 26 now, I wouldn't recommend her winning in 26 and running for president in 28. That's going to tick some people off. I mean, it just is. I mean, I hate when politicians do that. Yeah, I'm going to be here, whatever. And then you know darn well that you're just you're a pit stop for something on higher up on the tree that they're looking for. But in her case, I believe if she was to run, she probably would win, with name recognition alone. And she's obviously has a history there as a state's attorney and et cetera. I think that she could win that, and I think she could really prove herself. Now, what does that mean as far as running for president? Well, I get it would take it out in 28, which I think she would really struggle to get that nomination, quite honestly. I just think it'd be tough. Is it fair the way things went down for her? Well, yes and no. I mean, it was kind of tough that she had to run as Biden Jr. or whatever, because she was the vice president. It's kind of hard to differentiate yourself. Whether you think Biden did a good job or not was huge for her. So I think that's going to be really tough. And she did blow through a lot of money. I mean, can't say she did it, but the campaign blew through over $1 billion. She's got the Ron DeSantis syndrome there. When people give you a bunch of money, and she got a bunch, and so did DeSantis, and you don't win. I mean, he lost really badly, but she didn't do all that great either, really. It's real tough to get them to give you money again. So I would say, to me, if I was advising her, run for the governorship of California. Yeah, you'll be a little bit older 8 years from now, or maybe do it 6 years from now. You could run for president then, depending on who's in office. And if it's another Republican, she could certainly run in 32. If it's a Democrat who's going in their second term, she wouldn't run anyways, right? So she still would be under 70 years old. And, being governor, if you had a successful run 8 years there, I think that would be huge for her. So that would be my recommendation for her. Who else in 28 real quick? And we're going to talk more about this. For the Democrats, I'm liking Fetterman, man. John Fetterman, the senator from Pennsylvania. He really is, he's what the Democrats need to listen to him, because he's listening to people. He's talking to both sides. He's not sticking with the party line whenever, that's the right thing to do. He's his own voice, and he's got his own brand. And I don't know if he would run, because he doesn't feel like he's the kind of guy that would, that would be, too establishment for him or whatever. But people change, over time. And I think he would be somebody that we need to look at as perhaps a future star for the Democratic Party. At least his line of thinking, where you talk to both sides. You don't villainize everything. You don't freak out because Donald Trump's going to be the president now. You stay the course, man, and you get people, you talk to people. And I think he's got a really good formula for that. And I think that Democrats need to listen to him. A couple other ones real quick. I mean, obviously this list will change. It's 4 years from now. Mayor Pete's great. I love him, and I would love to see him get some momentum. I believe when he gets out as transportation secretary, he's going to run for something in Michigan, because they moved there, 2-3 years ago? And yeah, that's a little bit of that carpetbagging thing that I was complaining about with Laura Trump down here in Florida last week. But, he's from Indiana. It's right next door. It's not like a big a power move as far as, he didn't go from, like, for example, Hillary did from Arkansas to New York. That's a pretty big jump. Next door neighbors, his family, his husband, all the Michigan. I think he's going to run for either senator or governorship there and have a good shot of winning. That's his immediate future, more close immediate future. Wes Moore, obviously, he's a rising star out of, I believe he's the governor of Maryland. He's going to be a rock star too, and it's somebody you have to look at here. And just another one, I'm going to throw this one out here now. And you can, this might blow up the comment section, which I'm okay with that. But AOC, yeah, I know it sounds crazy. AOC, right? No, she's in the squad. She's just not. Yeah, she started out very much to the left, and I'm sure she still considers herself a progressive Democrat. But she is, she's pretty crafty, and they say people like her go to Washington, change Washington, but lo and behold, Washington changes people. That's just the way it is. And I think that she's got a pretty big grasp. One thing she did was really interesting, I thought, was when she won her district, which she won by a landslide, she was able to identify Trump voters, people that voted for Trump and her. And she's like, wow, how's that possible? She's been having a lot of focus groups with these people and say, what is it that, not to blow herself up, say, pat herself on the back, because what is it? Why would you vote for me and not for, Kamala Harris or Joe Biden or whatever? And to get the feedback, that's some really valuable feedback. So I applaud her for doing that. More politicians need to do that. You know what? Just like Pete does and Fetterman does. Go on Fox News, go on News Nation One, whatever, One Nation News, whatever it's called. Talk to people and get your tent, get the tent bigger. They're all horrible, and it's really kind of ticking me off just talking about Trump real quick. Is the way he's got some crazy people that he's nominating for his cabinet. I mean, there's the laundry list is already out there, obviously, but he's also putting some good people behind him, like his deputy positions, because some of this is show. If you're ahead of a cabinet position, sometimes he just wants you to be the face, but the people doing actual work, he's picked some pretty solid people as deputy cabinet members for a couple of the different things. I think for the Department of Defense and even the Health and Human Resources and all this. He's getting real doctors in there, so it's not like. But I think he does it just because grabs a headline, which he loves. He's not the deepest thinker, you know what I mean? He's not, but he's got Susie Wiles there. So I'm trying to be optimistic that things aren't going to be as dark and horrible as they think. I know I'm jumping around here, but even in the immigration thing, he's using the same playbook that Obama used. Yeah, Obama deported more people than anybody since Eisenhower, more than Reagan, more than Bush, more than Trump. So this has been done before. So people just need to, take a deep breath, try to get your news off reliable things, do a little research, and just calm down a little bit. It's going to be okay. And last but not least, I was just going to say, Matt Gaetz, I saw that thing today where it's coming out for the for the ethics report, because being in Florida, you hear more about it, especially I live in Central Florida, which his buddy Joel Rosenblum, I believe his name is, who's serving like 15 years in prison right now. He's the one that's selling out Matt Gaetz right now, trying to get his sentence reduced. But Joel, I think it's Rosenberg, I might have the last name wrong, but he was the tax collector for Seminole County. And he's just a party animal, and he's in all kinds of trouble, and you can research him if you want. He's in prison for all the things that they're accusing Gaetz of, plus he was taking some money apparently and stuff. So he's a bad dude, but he's also Matt Gaetz' #1 buddy. They ran around together for years. So that's where a lot of this is coming from. We're going to find out in the next few days exactly what's in that report, because Matt Gaetz, when Trump nominated him, he immediately quit Congress. You don't do that. If you're nominated for a post, you see Rubio quitting his position? No. You see the guy down there in South Florida that's going to be the security advisor. He's a congressman down there, Waltz, I think his name is. He's not. You don't drop out just because you get a president or whatever picks you to be a potential nominee or be a potential cabinet member. You keep your post and see what happens. But Gaetz got out right away because he didn't want this report to come out. So we already know a lot of what it is. He did drugs. He probably did all the partying thing, but there might be something more in there too. The reason I'm bringing all this up and the reason he got out so quick is that he wants to run for governor in 2 years when DeSantis is gone. And he's super popular with the MAGA people here. That's your base for a primary. That's almost and then once you're a Republican nominee, depending who the Democrats put up, I can think of a couple people, the Democrats, believe it or not, could even win in Florida right now. One of them is Stephanie Murphy, the ex-Congress, Blue Dog Democrat congressperson from Orlando area, and then also John Morgan, who's now from Morgan and Morgan. He's now an independent, but he would run as I'm not sure what party he would run for, but he's thinking about running. He could make a strong run. She could too. So if Matt Gaetz was to gets the nomination, it wouldn't be a slam dunk for him to win. So that's an interesting thing that's unfolding down here. And, now that it's less than 2 years away, it's the next time we get the vote, right? So I'm getting kind of excited about that, see what happens here for Florida's future. That's my own personal thing. But hey, as Florida goes, so goes the country, right? That's it for right now. I think we're going to call it there. Guys, hope you have a great Christmas. Again, I have that free audiobook called Bear on my channel, which is the Dick Nixon channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, that'd be great too. But do it if you want to. If you don't, that's okay too. I hope you have a great holiday season, and I will probably talk to you the first of the year. Bye.